Welcome to this week's episode of the Declutter 360 podcast. I'm Lauren Diekman, a certified home organizer and mindset coach who's created this space that is dedicated to helping you unlock your potential to live an organized life once and for all. Are you ready to get organized from all angles? Let's dive in. Well, hey there. Welcome back for another episode of the podcast. As always, I'm so glad you're here and joining me. You know, there's a thing with organizing that I think a lot of times we overcomplicate the systems that we're putting into place. And let's be honest, the reason that so many of us, myself included, want to be as organized as possible is to help make life simpler, right? Being able to tap into that side of things, making life simpler, making life easier, creating ease within the flow of life for yourself allows you to step into a certain level of enjoyment in life that otherwise just doesn't really feel possible when we're consumed by the clutter and the chaos, right? Have you felt that? I know I absolutely have. You know, I love looking back at my Facebook memories all the time, and I don't check them every day, but I take a peek, and it is funny how I can look back, more than a decade back in my life and see me talking about in my Facebook, like my, what do they call those, status updates or whatever that, whatever it is when you're posting on Facebook. But what I was doing, what I was thinking, how I was feeling about life, and how frequently I mention clutter or decluttering. I was always in this cycle that it bothered me, right? And I knew that it was complicating my life and making things more difficult. But sometimes, we want to get things organized and maybe we're doing things out of order. I talk all the time with y'all here on the podcast about how important it is to declutter before you organize. Don't spend time, money, and energy and space organizing things that you don't want to keep, right? So you have to make those decisions about what it is that you want to keep first before you can really get down to the nitty gritty of organizing and creating that flow, creating that ease and simplicity in your life that allows you to, welcome in more joy, more happiness, more peace. I talked about that last week too, but it's just such an important part of the puzzle. And in thinking about that, several weeks ago, I talked about using labels in organizing and how labels can really help, especially when you are organizing shared spaces, right? Thinking about our family homes, and maybe you have your spouse, your children, whoever lives with you, roommates within your home. If you want to set up systems, labels can be a really great way to help everyone see and know what that system is, to help create a little bit less frustration in having to reset that system so frequently. Now, that being said, it is totally normal, natural, all the things for our systems to get a little messed up sometimes, right? And they require that maintenance of getting reset from time to time. And that's okay. So if you're in a position where you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to reset the space, my system fell apart, know that that's a normal part of the process, especially when you've initially, set up a new system. Okay, it takes time to adapt and get used to utilizing that system. But once you do, once you become accustomed to using it, it can become a real game changer for you. And today I want to share with you two ways that pictures can help take your organizational systems to the next level. Okay, the first way that pictures can really help take your organizational systems to the next level is when you have kids, especially younger kids who maybe are non-readers or are beginning readers. Okay, here's the deal. If you can use pictures in addition to a word label, even for your youngest non-readers. Now, understand that you have a former teacher talking to you here. So I'm helping you from all different perspectives today, right? This is the meat of organizing from all angles. Okay. Don't use just a picture. Go ahead and pair that picture with the words. It is great early letter and word recognition. Okay, so don't feel bad if you have a 3-year-old who you are creating labels for and you're putting words with your pictures. That is amazing. Their preschool teachers, their kindergarten teachers will thank you. Your kids will thank you someday, right? Okay, but you can use pictures of things and put those pictures on bins, drawers with the words, right? Wherever you need them to help your children be able to match up the items to the picture. When you're bringing organization and that labeling system to their level and teaching them that. Now, this also, you got to think about a 3-year-old or even younger can totally do this, right? You have to teach them the system, teach them how to match things up and how to, bring things together. And that having this picture with this word on, a label on a bin, on a tub, whatever it may be, means that that is the home for the item that's in that picture. So if you have a tub of Barbie dolls and you put a picture of a Barbie doll with the word Barbies next to it, then your child is going to learn not just that that's where my toys go as you're helping them clean up and put their things away, but they're also going to start over time having that recognition that that word says Barbies or that word says Legos, or that word says cars, trains, blocks, stuffed animals, whatever it may be, because you have this picture next to it and they're able to really easily match those things up. Oh my gosh, such a great way to help build independence with your kids and teach them the routines of cleaning things up and keeping a space tidy and having systems for their stuff. Because here's the kicker with kids that we need to have them understand is that it's not just about them getting the item back to a certain place. It's not just about having the tidy space. It's about them being able to locate the toy that they are looking for super easily, right? Making it simpler for them, creating that ease of flow and system for them so they can find and play with their toys that they want to play with when they want to use them. Right? You can do the same thing with your arts and crafts supplies. Put some pictures. If this is your marker drawer, this is your paints drawer, this is where the coloring books go. You can set up pictures with the word on a label right there for them. Oh, it's amazing. All right. The second way that I love to use pictures in organizing, and I've talked about this before over on my Instagram page, which I know I am not so active. And by not so active, I mean really not active at all on my Instagram page. I do check in over there from time to time. Um, but this is an old kind of a hack, if you will, that I have shared over there in the past. And I've shared over in the Facebook community where I am more active. So if you still have not joined our free Facebook community, the Declutter 360 community, go on over to the show notes, scroll down, and you're going to find a link to join that. So you can just click that link. If for whatever reason you're having trouble with that, my email is also in the show notes, and you can send me an email and get in touch with me that way. But the second way to use pictures in organizing is in relation to your holiday decor. I don't know about you, but for years, I always had a really hard time. Like I would get my decor out and I would sit there and I would stare at it for a minute and, take my mantle, for example, because this is where it seemed to happen to me the most often. I would look at my blank mantle and look at my pile of decorations that I know goes on the mantle. And I would think, how did I do that last year? Where did I put that? Where does that go? Right. And I would sit there and be like, did I post anything on Instagram or on Facebook? Did I post any pictures? And I'm scrolling, wasting time. Right. But trying to find pictures of how I set up my mantle for Christmas or Halloween or whatever it may be in past seasons. And then I got the idea a few years ago, before I took my mantle down, or at the end of the holiday season, I took a picture of it. And then I grabbed a nice big tub, a storage tub. I put all of the decor into that tub. And no, I did not just let that picture die on my camera roll. I printed it. I printed a little copy. It didn't have to be beautiful. My Halloween one, I think I printed in black and white, and it works just fine for me. I cut it out and I tape it on the inside of the lid. So when I pop that tub open that's labeled, Halloween or Christmas or whatever on the outside, I could pull that tub out, pop that lid open, and see exactly what's in the tub and exactly how I put it up last year. If I want to change it, that's my prerogative. I can totally change it. And then I can take a new picture at the end of the season and replace it. Or I can put it back exactly how I had it so easily, no searching for the items because they're all in that one tub. Maybe if I have items from two areas, I might have two pictures taped on the inside of that tub. That's fine too. But it's been such a time saver. And I love to decorate for the holidays, but this helps me cut out any piece of that feels a little frustrating, right? Having to sit there and scroll through my phone looking for pictures that I may or may not have posted on social media. Now I have them right there at my fingertips on the inside of the lid. Oh, I tell you what, it sounds simple. It is. These are those simple things that help us out in life, my friends. So I want to invite you to really lean in to your organization after you've decluttered and really bring organization to your life from all angles to help you live the way you want to live. All right, friends, come on back and join me next week. I got some fun tips to share with you I'm really excited about. So don't miss next week's episode of the Declutter 360 podcast. Thank you for tuning into the Declutter 360 podcast today. I am so grateful that you found me and that we can partner together to help you live life organized from all angles. Whether this was your first time listening or you've heard every episode, you'll want to join my email list so you don't miss a bit of the inspiration and motivation to help you stay the course in living organized. Check the show notes for the link to join, okay? And hey, if you found this episode to be particularly helpful or inspiring, I would be so honored for you to share it on socials so we can grow the impact of these messages together. Oh, thank you so much. All right, my friend, that's all for now. Tune in next week for more on the Declutter 360 podcast.